I'll just take the liberty to stand here for 2 minutes before we commence this session. You are fine in the middle, Mr. Lokpal. आप ही यहाँ पे ठीक लग रहे हैं. नहीं, आप ही बैठे. हाँ जी. So he wanted me to sit in the middle, but the moderator, especially I don't need to moderate between son and dad, I'm quite sure.
No, the color balance will be beautiful.
Had it been Mahesh Bhupati and Leander Paes, I would have had to sit there. And that is my joke, please. No one should. All right. So this is, firstly I'm here because I'm really enjoying the day. So I just want one note on these inspiring sports conversations that we're having. Chitranjan, I and Hardeep along the way, Saguna, some of us came together and said that let's have something around sports conversations. And we do say sports literature, but then many of those on stage have not yet authored books. This duo has, and this moderator also has. But there are many who have gone through a lot in life. And these are stories to talk about, to listen to. शुरुआत हमारी किरण जी से हुई थी, वो वहाँ बैठी हैं बड़ी चुपचाप कर्नल साहब के साथ. और इनकी कहानी जो है वो सुबह आप में से कुछ लोग थे, कुछ लोग नहीं थे. The goosebumps were, there were millions of them in this hall. So we were like bowled over by that story. And on that note, Mukesh Kumar, who's sitting in the front row, he bowled us over. And in fact, we must admit that we did not reach out to him. He got to know of this venture. He connected, and we were very happy to have him as a speaker. So that's how this procession has taken place, and all the panels will sum up later. But coming to this panel, we've had some great panels already. This father-son duo, this is their second book, and I'm happy to be with them on stage the second time as well. I think we have a very distinguished sports legacy here. To understand sport is partly easy, but to go to the depth of the matter and understand the nuances and the intricacies and the heartbreaks and the pain and the heart, really, I mean, the palpitations involved is very difficult. So over to this panel, and that's
Over to you.
and
Over to the moderator.
basically I was trying to avoid sitting in the middle, that's why I went there first. मैंने कहा ये भी एक strategy हो जाएगी और So now here we are, and we have a book called We Are the Champions, 40 iconic moments in Indian sports. So this is what we're going to discuss. And ये बताइए विजय जी, and we can keep it largely English but a bit of Hindi. What is Indian sports claim to fame? कहाँ champions थे हम लोग? We were always the becharas, we were always the crybaby, not crybabies तो England वाले थे. But India में हम लोग, we were also rans, we were strugglers. Sport in our society is back of beyond.
We were always trying.
And we were never able to take it to that back of beyond rural area to get those champions of forth. How are we able to accomplish, how are we able to celebrate 40 iconic moments in sport? What has changed?
To begin with, we are very happy to be here, and I'm especially privileged to have among the audience a dear friend Neeru Bhatia from the profession, my dear student Mona, who's already said a few words about me, the silent force behind this book, wife Sunanda, and there are two gentlemen at the back. Vishal Uppal, a very distinguished tennis coach, and a budding tennis coach in Supun Basra, who I rate him as a very fine sports journalist. And of course, if I have not mentioned a few others, Ajay ji, it's a great privilege to be here, and of course you're the one who brought us here. So, and Shishir coming all the way.
I was just remembering.
No, alphabetical order. No, you are S.
Shishir, who is come all the way from Ahmedabad. So, to answer your question, it's a long story. It wasn't that we were not achievers, it was just that it was not being highlighted. Today, the social media is highlighting even a bronze medalist. So, I remember when we got the bronze at Paris, there was such celebration all over the country, and one of the stalwarts of hockey field. He called me, says, bronze celebrate ho raha hai. So there was a time when India won the bronze for the first time, the hockey players went into hiding. Yeah, they were not happy with whatever they had achieved. A bronze medal is an Olympic medal, whatever it was. But today things have changed and we have come to highlight even little known aspects of sports. Storytelling has become big in the print, on television, and of course digital media is playing a huge part in popularizing sport. And I think today when you see most newspapers have 3 pages of sports, so that tells you how much we have progressed and what the importance of sports in our society.
It's not enough, Vijay. You see, for many decades we were celebrating Milkha Singh and PT Usha.
Yeah.
And sorry to say, we didn't have champions. You're saying we had champions, but they were not highlighted. But we didn't have champions. We had hockey. We had definitely some hope. 1983 changed a lot because another popular sport came in. But there, as a sporting culture, I think India is still languishing. And there is no talk of sport. There are people here who love sport, that's why they're here. Or maybe some are here too because they love the people on the stage. But I mean, largely people don't focus. So we still have a long way to go.
Do you play sport?
मैं तो खेलता हूँ, but मतलब.
So that is important. If you play sport, you will come to respect sportsmen. You will come to understand the pain, the hardships that go behind becoming a champion. And to me, I would say everyone who plays competitive sport is a champion because he or she is keeping the game going. It's very hard to study, to play, to kind of please keep your parents happy because they are not the ones. I came from a time when going and playing was very difficult outside. But today, fathers are taking their daughter to go and play cricket or football or PT or whatever sport. So things have changed, and you're saying we didn't have champions. We had to trim this down to 40. We could have made it a 100 champion book, but the publishers had told us 35. It was a battle, so we settled at 40.
Right. Still, anyway, we agree to disagree. Given the scale of India, the population, the number of champions we have is still not enough. So we are progressing, we are changing, we are coming forward. And I want to ask you about this book now. How did this thought come about? Your first book was Netflix. Together, the first book was Netflix, which has nothing to do with Netflix. And you understand what I mean. You can just introduce that book a little bit. And how did it lead to this very ambitious title of We Are the Champions, 40 iconic moments in Indian sport? Would Akshay like to answer that?
Hello. So firstly, thank you so much for having me here for the second time. It's a huge opportunity once again to talk about my work. And Netflix, it is a book about Indian badminton, its history. I think for particularly with regards to We Are the Champions, the idea was between Penguin and Dad. Because the idea that the best moments haven't been covered and therefore we need a book on it. That's how. It was as simple as that, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, you can definitely add to that.
Yeah, see, Netflix was about storytelling, discovering, meeting people, meeting them personally. Some of them had only read about them, never seen them, never met them in person. So we went around the country meeting those badminton champions, and we were happy with the product. The publishers kind of appreciated the hard work. It was hard work essentially, discovering and making them talk because most of them they were shy. They were not willing to talk about their time. And then of course the idea came from Penguin to write about champions and champions from different fields. So like I said, they wanted 35, it went up to 40, it could have been 50 also. I mean ideally 50 is a good figure and I think we could have done 50.
Yeah, whatever figure you come up with, people find more meaning into it than you think. I have a book which has 51 something. So they're like somebody, I didn't think of it, but somebody gave me the whole spiritual element behind 51 ka number and all that. It just was a tukka that it was. So this is not really important. What is important is the people highlighted. So how did you, what was the criterion? What was the methodology? And what was the process?
Right, I think the first criterion was not to focus so much on cricket.
And why is that? Why are we so apologetic about cricket, by the way? Why do we have to defend ourselves? यहाँ पे glorious cricket लिखा हुआ है. Why do we cricketers have to be so defensive?
ज़्यादा हो गया थोड़ा सा.
ज़्यादा हो गया, बस यही है. Too much of a good thing.
In my understanding, I mean, whatever little experience that I have.
You think two of us are sitting there, cricket वाले लोग बैठे, सोच के बोलो.
Cricket वाले, because I mean, Dad has covered cricket all his life, so this opportunity was huge that I would get the chance to read and research about other sports. That's why even I was very excited to take it up.
No, I agree with you, absolutely. I believe there are only 3 cricket chapters?
5 or 6.
5
5
out
or
of
6.
5.
Out of 40.
5 out of 40, not bad. Oh, okay, right. So the process, how long did it take you? What was your methodology?
I think it took about 1.5 years. 1.5 years. And we had to cover all sports, as many moments that we could find. I mean, as Dad said, we were somewhere around 50 or 60. We had those many moments, but we had to cut it down to 35. Then we made it 40. And all the disciplines, as they are mentioned, be it hockey, be it football, be it we have even mentioned parastars, para-athletes, and the idea was that as something that has not been spoken about, something that has not been written about. So yeah, that's it.
So what, Mr. Lokpalli, coming to you again, what is the most favorite part of this book for you? What did you love really? Which one gave you the goose pimples? Or which two?
Like he said, yeah, I've covered cricket all my life, but writing about non-cricket, that was, it took me back into time. My first love was football. So when I started working as a journalist, I discovered that football would at the most take me to a neighboring state to cover the sport, because newspapers were not very inclined to send you outside to cover any sport other than cricket. And cricket came to me by chance, and I grabbed an opportunity. It was easy for me because I knew the sport very well. I knew the players very well, having played with them. And cricket had grown on me. So the favorite chapter, or if you say the moment, was in this. I take pride in the fact that hockey was a big sport, still is a big sport. Hockey, I mean, when India lost in hockey, I would miss my dinner. You felt so bad. But when India lost in cricket, no, you wouldn't feel bad about it. So it was, I think my favorite chapter is 83 World Cup, because it changed the face of the game in India. It told you how to win, how to beat, say, England, Australia, West Indies. We beat them in the same tournament, which was huge. And I had followed Kapil's career right from the beginning. He's among my very, very, very close friends from the sporting fraternity. He a true champion. If you see, he can play every sport at the national level.
You are in the city of Kapil there at the moment.
I know, and he is now promoting golf. He went and played competitive football in Kolkata. And then, of course, cricket. He's the shining star. He still is a star. Whenever he goes, he is mocked at the airport or in a hotel lobby or at events. And then, of course, Mr. Gavaskar. Of course, he told us how to play cricket. Tiger probably told you how to win. So Mr. Bedi taught you how to speak in a language which is understood by everyone in the dressing room, not just your Marathi or what, Shirish? You can't just speak one language.
His turn will come at 4 o'clock.
Yes. So it was, these are, for me, the chapter was special. And of course, the book begins with the 1948 gold medal at the Olympics, London Olympics, where India beat England. It was a huge, huge moment, and I've heard the story from players who were part of that team. So it still gives me goosebumps when I recall meeting Mr. Balbir Singh and listening to the story of how that gold was achieved.
I must tell you all, Mr. Lokpalli has been involved with Playwright right from the beginning, and we had our ideational conceptualizing meetings much before Playwright started. Chitranjan, I, Hardeep, and Mr. Lokpalli, and Mr. Novi Kapadia, whom we are missing today. And in the last edition of Playwright, or the one before that, we paid tribute to him. And he was Mr. Football. We just mentioned, he mentioned football journalism and broadcasting. He was the expert, and he and us, we used to have maybe lunch at Dasha Prakash, wherever it was, in Delhi. And we used to ideate and consult. So what is your favorite from this, Akshay? Which one really, excited you the most?
I think it was Mr. Abhinav Bindra's gold.
We are in the city of Abhinav Bindra right now. So you've chosen well, huh? Okay, go.
And out of complete honesty, I think before reading and researching about the sport, earlier it used to look the same to me, and I completely apologize for that, for saying this. But I think after I started reading and watching a little bit, whatever videos I could find, mostly reading, past articles, talking to journalists back then, it gave me that idea that the precision that it takes to master that sport is just mind-blowing. And even flexing a little muscle, it would take you away from the bullseye. So I think I would say that's my favorite moment.
We just mentioned Mr. Balbir Singh Senior, and we have Kabir standing at the door. Please come in, Kabir. Kabir is from the family of Mr. Balbir Singh Senior, the legendary hockey player, and I just happened to see him there. It's just a matter of chance that he was standing there. Please sit down, please, Ayub. And Mr. Balbir Singh Senior also spoke at Playwright. And Mr. Bishan Bedi was mentioned, he also spoke at Playwright. We've lost all these gentlemen in the past few years, and iconic sports inspiration. Two of my favorites, if I may, and they're not cricket here. One is PV Sindhu. PV Sindhu's World Cup victory you mentioned here. Akshay, tell us about PV Sindhu. What kind of personality is she? How is she so good at her craft?
Something interesting that struck me was that while people were talking about Saina Nehwal, PV Sindhu was right there. She was in the same city, Hyderabad, in the making, and just out of, I don't know if it's the right term, out of shadows she emerged, and she took it away. That's what we know.
Did you have a very detailed interaction, or were you able to reach out, or was she busy? How did you?
Complete honesty, it was mostly reading about her, because with regards to PV Sindhu, we were not able to reach out to her. Very, very difficult. Even for the post promotion and all that, even that was a little hard with her, but understandable completely.
Yeah.
But yes, her journey, her talent, I don't know if I can use that word, but that's just remarkable.
Since the morning we've highlighted sports achievers who are ladies, who are women. I think PV Sindhu has been a path-breaking achiever for India and a twice medalist at the Olympics. So fantastic. Well, let's have a round of applause in absentia for PV Sindhu. And Mr. Lokpalli, I want to ask you, you have included the World Cup of 1975. And that is not a cricket World Cup. And that World Cup and that goal scored by the friend of Colonel Chima sitting over here, the friend of Colonel Chima. Tell us about that.
The 75 World Cup?
All the 75 World Cup.
Yeah. Listening to the commentary by Jasdev ji, he literally brought the game in front of us. And later, of course, getting to know him, we would again ask him to relive the goal, and he could do it. He could do it flawlessly. Yes.
Another iconic personality.
Absolutely. And then later on, it was such a huge honor for me to know every member of the team.
Of the 1975 World Cup
75
winning
team, I
hockey
know-
team of India.
Yes, I know each of them. And Ashok ji is among a very dear friend now. He is.
So Mr. Ashok Kumar scored that all-important goal, the son of the late legendary Mr. Dhyan Chand. And he's also been a speaker at PLAYWRITE, by the way, Mr. Ashok Kumar. And this time also he was eager to come, but somehow whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and also remember 75 to maybe 80, the hockey players were as big stars as the cricket players. This generation may not know, hockey players were featured on
Hockey
the
में हम
cover.
जीतते थे और क्रिकेट में हम हारते थे. तो hockey should have been they should have been the superstars.
Yeah, but see, even in those days, to watch hockey you have to buy a ticket. Nehru Hockey Tournament, I remember as a journalist being flooded for passes. People wanted complimentaries of these hockey tournaments and football tournaments. Cricket was free. Ranji Trophy you could go and watch for free. But hockey you had to pay to watch, and it is such an exciting sport. 70 minutes only. And cricket you sit the whole day and then you realize kya dekha hai, kuch nahi dekha. So it was.
So now I'm going to ask one more question and then open it to the audience with the permission of Simran over there. 2 questions from the audience, but one question I have for you now. After having covered, watched, analyzed, written about sport for 4 decades? 5 decades? 4?
I started in 1981.
हाँ तो कितने हो? 45 years. So my maths is okay. 45 years. So 45 years के बाद, does anything still make your heart beat faster when it comes to Indian sport?
I would say expectations have grown, and every time India takes the field in other than cricket. See, cricket is it's not. I wouldn't say cricket has given me everything. I travel the world because of cricket, but every time an athlete does well, because they get nothing. The facilities are non-existent. Infrastructure is also
Neeraj
non-existent.
Chopra?
Most of them.
Any of them?
Most of them, and their ambitions are high. No doubt, they want to do well. So every time an athlete does well, I look forward to with hope that yes, we are on the right track. Today, of course, we are doing well in almost every sport. There are setbacks. Vishal would tell us in his session why tennis is not coming forward, or maybe why badminton is not showing much promise other than Lakshya Sen and maybe Unnati here and there. So it is, cricket doesn't excite me now because it is more than a game.
I didn't ask you cricket, I said sport.
Sport, as a sport, I would say I'm still keen if India does well in football. It's a truly global sport. This thing, but I get very excited, like I said, if an athlete, little known athlete, goes and does well at the world level.
I'm going to say something out of character. आपने बोला India does well in football. एक गाना है, हमें आना पड़ेगा दुनिया में दोबारा. तभी फुटबॉल में कुछ होगा. आना पड़ेगा दुनिया में दोबारा. So उसके लिए तो now on this we're going to throw it to the audience, please. Any questions? Yes, ma'am. Mona ma'am. Mona Parsati was on the stage pre-lunch.
सर
माइक आपको मिलने वाला है.
बहुत सारे सेटबैक्स देखे हैं स्पोर्टिंग हिस्ट्री में. आप रोम में मिल्खा सिंह का मेडल छूटा, लॉस एंजलिस पीटी उषा 2003 वर्ल्ड कप, 19 नवंबर 2023 वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल. ऐसे बहुत सारे मूवमेंट्स हैं जो हमें रिग्रेट है कि यहाँ ये हो सकता था. अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि ऐसी कौन सी मूवमेंट है कि आप रिवाइंड में जाकर उसको चेंज करके एक सफलता की कहानी बनाना चाहोगे, तो वो कौन सा मूवमेंट होगा?
आइडिया नहीं दिया मोना पहले. You asked me this question, but I think Milkha Singh ji, that was a big. He was an amazing.
You are in the city of Milkha Singh. देखो ये कोइंसिडेंस नहीं है, चंडीगढ़ में हम कर रहे हैं. Let's clap for Chandigarh.
He was an amazing athlete, a very helpful person as far as we are concerned. And I remember जब उनका सिनेमा बन रहा था, रिलीज से पहले I had come down to Chandigarh to meet him. What a wonderful host. he kept the television media meeting and waiting, and met me and my dear friend Norris Preetham. We were here together to listen to his stories, and we had heard so much about him. I had heard about Milkha Singh from my dad, who was also a good cricket lover. But that one moment, because there is a book on Rome Olympics, and in that book you will get to know the importance of Milkha Singh and the importance of Indian hockey, of course, what it meant to the cricket world. And Milkha ji was the only person, बाद में पता नहीं लोग बहुत claim करते हैं, he was the only person who could meet Nehru ji without appointment. Yeah, that was, he was such a great person. And if you remember when he was not in the movies, he was not going to Pakistan for he had some emotional trauma. But Nehru ji ke कहने पे he went and did well. There was an India-Pakistan meet. So that one moment, if I can rewind and pray to God that Milkha ji finishes either whatever, gold, silver, bronze, और जो जीते medal, उन सबको वो हरा चुके थे. On the European circuit, he had beaten them all. But at that moment, whatever happened, he was probably not destined to win the Olympic medal. And of course, P.T. Usha finishing fourth, Deepa Karmakar, you had said, finishing fourth. These are all moments where, again, I would say, I would love to see them win medals.
We're gonna have time for half a question with the permission of Simon. Okay, so I'll just close by saying that can we have, I just want a yes from you, please. One day, Serena Williams, Cristiano Ronaldo, Usain Bolt, Roger Federer from India. Can we? Yes or no?
I would love to ask my son to answer that, because
Actually, can we or not?
he loves Usain Bolt. We couldn't include Usain Bolt here. That's his favorite athlete. So do you think someday we could have this?
I would love to believe yes. Definitely. Just one quick fact. Olympics, athletics is something that I used to love. I used to sprint in school. But sadly, I could only follow it every 4 years when we used to get Olympics broadcast on television. But the dream is that someday we'll have a 100-meter sprinter performing in Olympics.
So performing means winning the gold medal. Thank you all.
Thank you for that insightful and engaging discussion, and I think this conversation has truly sparked curiosity within us to understand these champions from their perspective. So a huge round of applause to these gentlemen. And now, as a small token of appreciation for sharing their time, wisdom and experience with us, we would like to